But this is actually and just only for me. This is just exact entry point. You're going to start to communicate with American, European people or negotiate. But if you going to English course, advanced course, how many years are you going to attend? But you can never going to start negotiation with foreigners. Never.
Right.
Now, how to do that? This is okay. What my intention is, okay, my true intention is why I'm going to start UNO school, because okay, just above the advanced course of English school, what is this? We don't have it in our society. We don't have it. What is it?
So I think that the only way to truly understand it is to fully engage with foreign cultures by actually going there, interacting with people, getting to understand why they love, why they organize the way that they are organized, how people relationships work, how to interact with friends, how to interact between a superior and subordinate, how to argue, how to make an argument. So how can you and it's impossible to learn. It's impossible to understand unless you are there. So for example, you have this slide. I saw that. I don't know exactly which presentation it was, but I think it was about networking. If you can study this, say, okay, well, there's a difference in networking. In Western society, you have these groups and these little flocks of people that get together, and they form small groups, but that there are all these tiny islands. And in comparison, Japanese society, they have this circle, and the discussion and the everything is basically organized, and everybody is pulled into the group. If the moregattara, there everybody is talking about the same thing. This is completely different from Western society. So when I would bring my wife in the Netherlands, when I would bring her to parties, she was always very uncomfortable, because she felt that she was being excluded.
Why he's feeling excluded?
She felt excluded because there was not this dynamic that is normal in Japanese parties, where people are kind of like really engaging with each other, where there is a central topic of discussion, and everybody is at the party engaging with each other.
Oh, she does not interest in what kind of issue they're going to discuss, right?
So she doesn't. She's not comfortable talking with Westerners and basically making a discussion about but basically debating history or critical issues that are happening around the world, and forming your opinion about that, and debating that opinion, and trying to, okay, what is your opinion about what's happening in Syria at the moment? Do you think that what should we do with Russia, and how can we resolve this conflict? And she would not feel comfortable.
Oh, usually Japanese people never discuss about Russia.
Right. So but we do. So she would feel very uncomfortable, and on top of that, that is not a discussion that is held by everyone in the room. That is just held by 2 or 3 people. So she would feel, oh, I don't like this topic, turn around, and then she would find that there's all these different islands, and they have discussions, and she doesn't speak Dutch fluently, cannot really keep up with the conversation, and she feels completely lost between all these little islands.
Exactly. That's the reason why I started to teach liberal arts. Liberal arts. And also Japanese people, they don't know who you are.
Right.
Not like Dutch people. Dutch people, you know their history, you know who you are. But Japanese people, they do not know their identity. That's the reason I'm teaching this morning. Spirit of Japan.
I'm asking myself, do we really know who we are?
You clearly distinguish from Germany, distinguish from French,
Right.
distinguish from America.
Right.
You are Dutch, But Japanese is island. They have no comparison. They don't communicate with overseas people.
Right.
So that means what I'm talking about identity means if those guys start to talk with Dutch, but he or she cannot speak with Dutch because she never experienced outside people. It means the other way around, they never ask who you are. And so they do not know what is Japanese people, what is Japan.
It becomes even more uncomfortable if they do ask who you are.
Okay, among Japanese people, never talking about history, never talking about. They're talking about comfort woman. They're talking about World War II or Great Asian War. They're talking, but all kind of content is not agreed. Not agreed by overseas people.
Exactly.
So this is a problem.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So this means that they don't recognize.
Of course, also our viewpoint is very much tainted because we never discuss with Japanese people about history, so we don't really know.
No, you're talking about your history, you are like a Holocaust, you are everything.
Right.
Talking about with overseas people many times.
Right.
But Japanese never do
But
that.
when we meet a Japanese person and we talk about history and we talk about World War II, for example, we have a very, since we never debate with Japanese people, we made our own idea and we basically, there was never a counter discussion.
Of course, that
Never
I did
counter-
with you before, right?
Right.
So never, none of Japanese don't do that.
So we have this idea of how it was, but that's only through our eyes, and we've never been disagreed. But if for a lot of Japanese people, if there has been a discussion that has been among Japanese, so they have their completely own viewpoint, and these viewpoints are completely.
Yeah, this is a very
Separate.
big point, and I think the liberal arts is a big point. But none of Japanese people, none of Japanese company cannot recognize. This is big issue. Okay, whenever Japanese people going to Asia Pacific, they're going to discuss about who is Mahathir, Malaysia, what kind of action they're going to do. This is very exceptional attitude for mainland China. How do you think about? But Japanese people usually they do not discuss. First of all, they don't discuss any kind of issue. They don't discuss. Second issue, they are not interested in outside event outside Japan. Right? No discuss, no interest, and no knowledge.
Right, but once you start to actually engage with Japanese people, so for example, if you want to build up a relationship, right? If you in a negotiation, it's common sense outside of Japan. It's common sense that you break the ice first. That means that you have some discussions about, okay, you tell something about your family, where you come from. So it's very easy, it's very likely that the topic will come about, okay, the relationship between the two countries, right? So what do you feel about this? What do you feel about your history, for example? That is a topic that is likely to come up. But I really noticed that talking about my wife, but she's a history major, but she didn't know anything about history.
What kind of history is major?
She studied history in
Japanese history?
Keio.
Japanese history? Or
Japanese history.
Oh.
Very surprising how little she knew about history.